So the International Atomic Energy Agency here in COP17, why are you here? What is your role in the negotiations, in the debate going on in Durban?
Well, nuclear power is a low carbon emitting technology, and in any future climate change constrained world, I think there's a place for it. It's not a technology for everyone, but it certainly can make a contribution to mitigating climate change.
So are you having to convince people involved in the debate here that atomic energy is a viable, it obviously has had a bad name in the past, has a bad reputation. Is it partly a public relations exercise to try to convince people that it is a clean, viable energy source?
It's certainly a public information issue, but of course it's also a issue where you have to understand the risks. The risks are real, as we have seen with Fukushima. So what we have to see is what are the benefits and what are the risks. And as long as the benefits exceed the risk, we have a case. If we don't find it, and that depends on location, one country sees the benefits higher than the risk, others do the reverse, then we don't have a case. So it's a case by case, on locational conditions depending decision.
If we can balance that out, the benefits versus the risks, and you can convince the majority that the benefits do outweigh the risks, is atomic energy, or could it be one of the answers to all of our energy problems?
It's not the silver bullet, definitely not, but it can contribute to a mix of technologies and resources and so on, from demand-side management to renewables. Nuclear power has a place. It is a reliable baseload technology. It's not intermittent. You can have it 7/24, and I guess in that interplay it can make a contribution.
I think I'm correct in saying that when atomic energy is used, it's mostly in developed nations. Is there a role for it? Is the financing available to develop it in developing nations?
Good question. I mean, we have seen before Fukushima some 60 countries, developing countries, without active nuclear power programs, coming to us and asking, what does it take? What kind of infrastructure do we need? I mean, the Achilles heel in the end is finance. And of course, the current commercial size is in the 1,000 to 1,600 megawatt, way too big for most developing countries, given their national grid sizes. So what they would need is a smaller 300 to 600 megawatt commercially available technology, which right now we don't have.
And presumably the problem then in poorer nations is sustaining it, is the safety issues of making sure, or maintenance, I guess, for many, many years afterwards. How would we ensure if atomic energy could be produced, could be developed in poorer nations, how do we then ensure that those power plants are maintained?
Well, I guess each vendor has an interest that his technology does not underperform in any situation in any country. No, what we try to make our member states understand is when you get in, it's a commitment for 100 and more years. Are you ready? Do you have the necessary soft infrastructure? That means a nuclear law, a regulation, a safety culture, education, all these things that you need for a responsible use of nuclear power. And we really try to take him by the hand and walk him through each of these steps and then see whether they're still interested in it or not.
And you say there is interest, 60 or so countries are interested, presumably places which are not susceptible to natural disasters, to earthquakes and the like, or are these countries that have to be ruled out of the equation?
Well, we, in particular after Fukushima, the siting issue becomes extremely important, and many countries that have come to us now re-evaluate their situation. Is the technology really something we can absorb within our system? Do we have the right sites? Many countries are in earthquake-prone zones, so they are looking back at the blueprint and see, well, maybe we don't. But by and large, we have not seen since Fukushima a major retraction in the interest in the technology.
And what is it you hope for from COP17? What would you, from the perspective from the International Atomic Energy Agency, what is it you're looking for from this conference?
We basically want a situation where all technologies are judged by their climate change benefits and their other social, environmental, economic risks.
And are you hopeful that will be the case?
Well, that you asked me what I hope for. Whether it's realistic is another issue. But no, primarily I want to see that parties agree to move forward on climate issues, have at least a binding international environmental agreement somewhere down the road. We have to have some real results coming out because we're running out of time.